You have probably heard it 1,000 times. People telling you that you should not be a nice guy. They will push you to be a quote-unquote good guy instead, or throw out some other random adjective that they think sounds better, like it is somehow an upgrade. Then you have folks from certain online communities shouting that you should be a bad boy, or worse, a straight-up jerk or bigot to thrive in this world. Our society has morphed into this bizarre dystopia where what is abnormal feels normal, where good is perceived as weak, where the clueless seem to lead the wise, and where so many words have lost their meaning entirely. Nobody wants to tackle the root of the problem, and they just point fingers at how nice guys get treated in our society, focusing on the disadvantages instead of digging into what is really broken and fixing it. It is like slapping a plaster on a gushing wound and calling it a day. As Albert Einstein once said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. We need to go deeper, beyond the surface, to understand why kindness gets such a bad rap. Welcome back to another thought at 1 a.m., where sleep is optional, but the thoughts are mandatory. So, what exactly is wrong with being a nice guy? You see, the word nice has become such a semantic mess that it can mean almost anything depending on who is saying it and in what context. For some, it is about being kind, caring, or compassionate. For others, it is about being gullible, boring, or even fake and manipulative. Regardless, that's a topic worth diving deeper into. But before we start, let me make one thing clear. There is nothing wrong with being a nice guy. Being nice is a quality that sets us apart as humans, and it is what separates us from animals. As Aristotle put it, man is by nature a social animal, and kindness is the foundation of a society worth living in. If you are someone who has always been nice, who has a kind heart, who genuinely cares about others, you should be proud of that. Do not let this messed up world make you feel like there is something wrong with you, just because being nice sometimes leaves you frustrated or disappointed. As the poet Khalil Gibran wrote, tenderness and kindness are not signs of weakness and despair, but manifestations of strength and resolution. Your kindness is a testament to your strength, not a flaw to be ashamed of. But how did we arrive at a point where being a nice guy is something that people mock or warn against? How did such a deeply human quality become something that many believe should be avoided or even hidden? The truth is that the term nice guy did not always carry the negative tone that it does today. In past generations, being described as a nice guy was considered a compliment. It meant that you were courteous, respectful, and decent, someone who treated others well and contributed to society. Over time, however, particularly through modern media, dating culture, and online narratives, the meaning began to shift. The nice guy label started to become associated with weakness, passivity, or emotional neediness. It was no longer about kindness or good character, but about social awkwardness, lack of boundaries, or unearned expectations. Popular culture played a significant role in this transformation. Many films and television shows portray the nice guy as someone who always finishes last, who is overlooked by others, or who exists only as a backup plan. He is often shown as the overly eager friend, the predictable fallback, or the emotional crutch. In contrast, the so-called bad boy is framed as confident, desirable, and assertive. This binary creates a false belief that one must choose between being kind and being strong, when in reality, both qualities can and should coexist. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That means staying true to your principles without letting others dictate who you become. What really distorted the meaning of nice guy was not kindness itself, but a pattern of behavior in which kindness was used with conditions attached. Some people who called themselves nice were not acting out of genuine care, but out of a hope that their good behavior would be rewarded with attention, affection, or validation. And when that reward did not come, resentment often followed. That resentment is what gave the term nice guy such a negative connotation. This is not true kindness. This is manipulation that wears a friendly mask. It is behavior that expects a return on investment, rather than a reflection of strong moral values. So before we continue, let me get the definition right to make sure that we are on the same page. A nice guy, to me, is someone who treats another human being with respect and with kindness, who is mentally stable and has the quality that we call human decency. It is a quality that we all should strive to have, because if everyone is nice, then the world would be a nicer place too. Being nice is not the problem, but being unconditionally nice is. That is where things go wrong. But what do I mean by being unconditionally nice? It means that you are treating everybody in a nice way, regardless of the circumstances that you are in, regardless of the situation, and regardless of the person that you are with. That is not always a virtue. It can set you up to get hurt, especially if you lack situational awareness and social smarts. That is why many people associate being nice with being stupid, gullible, or boring. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast." Just like how our emotions fluctuate in tandem with the change of circumstances, we also need to be more adaptive in terms of how we treat other people. Unlike emotions, which happen subconsciously for the most part, how we treat other people is a conscious decision that we need to make actively. So, the question is not whether or not we should be nice, but rather when we should be nice and how nice we should be. Our qualities as human beings can be compared to tools in a toolbox. Each one has a purpose depending on the situation. And just like you would not fix everything with a hammer, you do not want to be stuck on one quality in all situations. It is a conscious decision that we have to make all the time. Just like tools, using the wrong one in the wrong situation or for the wrong problem will cause you more headaches, or even make the problem worse in the end. Picture these situations. If you have wonderful parents who have always been there for you, supporting you emotionally and financially, then being nice to them is a given. It should go without saying. But if you grew up with parents who made you question whether they even loved you, who constantly put you down, then why would you keep being nice to them? They simply do not deserve your kindness. If there is a colleague who has always treated you poorly, being nice to that person only sends one message: that you are an easy target. They might even think that acting like a jerk gives them the upper hand. In those cases, it is better to respond in the way they deserve, whether that means ignoring them, setting firm boundaries, or standing up for yourself. In a romantic relationship, if you have a partner who treats you with genuine respect, then returning that niceness is the right thing to do. You owe them nothing less. But if she treats you like a walking ATM or second-class citizen, while acting as she's entitled to everything that you offer, then why are you being nice to her? Instead, you should be leaving. As Maya Angelou wisely said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Your niceness should be a gift you give freely, not an open invitation to be walked over. You see, just like I mentioned earlier, there is nothing wrong with being nice. But being nice to the wrong person or in the wrong situation will definitely come back and bite you. And in the worst case scenario, it might even harm you. Another thing that you need to understand is how nice you need to be. And again, it depends on the situation and the person that you are dealing with. It is okay to be nice to a group of strangers, but it would be stupid to be so nice that you agree to lend them money. But it would be perfectly fine to buy them a beer if you feel like they are decent people, because that is a calculated risk that you can take. But if they do not reciprocate or make you feel that they are trying to take advantage of your kindness, then that is where you stop being nice. Just like respect, people must earn their right to your kindness. As C.S. Lewis once said, Experience, that most brutal of teachers, but you learn. My God, do you learn. You learn who deserves your kindness and who does not through experience, and it is up to you to make those calls. In the end, the conversation around being a nice guy is not really about choosing between kindness and strength. It is about learning how to embody both. Too often, people treat these qualities as if they're in conflict, as if one must be sacrificed for the other. But the truth is that genuine kindness is not the opposite of power. It is one of its purest forms. When kindness is rooted in clarity, discernment, and a strong sense of self, it becomes a force that can change not only your relationships, but also the world around you. The philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love." These words remind us that kindness is not simply about being agreeable or polite. It is a multi-dimensional strength. It inspires trust, encourages deep reflection, and builds meaningful connections. But it is important to understand that real kindness does not demand anything in return. To be a nice guy in today's world requires more than a good heart. It requires courage, awareness, and emotional maturity. It means being nice only to the ones who actually earn it, and giving zero favors to the ones who use you. It means not lying to yourself just to feel good about being a nice guy. You do not show compassion because you are told to. You do it because it matches what you believe in. You give when it feels right, and you walk away the moment staying makes you feel like a fool. Real kindness is not weakness dressed up as virtue. It is not the silence you keep when someone disrespects you. It is not the smile you fake just to avoid confrontation. It is the strength to stand your ground with grace, to forgive without forgetting, and to care without becoming careless with yourself. What the world needs is not fewer nice guys, but more people who understand how to be kind without being taken advantage of, who know when to extend compassion and when to withhold it, and who are guided by wisdom rather than blind habit. Kindness is not a switch you leave on at all times. It is a light you choose to shine where it is needed most. Sometimes that light illuminates warmth and connection. Other times it reveals where you must draw the line. In a world that often glorifies arrogance and cruelty as forms of strength, it is the kind people who carry the heaviest burden and the greatest potential. So, if you are someone who is a nice guy, who leads with empathy, who chooses to see the good even when it is hard, do not let the world convince you that you are wrong. Just make sure you protect your niceness, like your wallet, your time, or your peace of mind. Because once people know they can take it for free, they will, and they'll keep doing it until you put them in their place.